Rachel Maddow called on CBS and parent company Paramount to reverse its decision to cancel The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
Now, Maddow was on Nicole Wallace's The Best People podcast on Monday, where the MS Now host said CBS's post-Paramount Skydance merger culture is a huge embarrassment. Let's listen.
They're trying to sort of live down their shame, I think, already in terms of the way they are capitulating. I think the CBS News takeover has been a huge embarrassment to everybody involved in it. And, they should reverse the decision about Colbert. Like, he's still on the air now. He's still got a few months horizon left before they're planning on taking him off the air. They should change that. You know what? Donald Trump is negative 24 in terms of his approval rating in the latest Gallup poll.
Here's some more from Maddow.
Absolutely transparent what CBS and Paramount were doing with getting rid of Stephen Colbert. Oh, it's a financial decision. Right, because having the highest rated late night show in America for years is somehow financially unsustainable now when it wasn't before, right? Yeah. Like, at the same time that you've got Trump connected oligarchs taking over this company and putting a right-wing blogger in charge of CBS News.
Maddow then urged Paramount to stop pleasing President Trump. Let's listen.
Since you decided that you would try to please Donald Trump by taking Stephen Colbert off the air, like, maybe don't do that. Like, maybe you can now see where in history you're going to end up. And now's your chance to try to alter that and try to get right. And I think that a lot of institutions are in that same boat.
Quite a bit of what infuriates me about Rachel Maddow was evident.
I knew this was coming. I'm going to defend her, but anyway, go ahead.
I mean, it's just this veneer of I'm smarter than you, where she says a lot of things that are debatable at the very least. We've scrutinized the decision to fire Stephen Colbert, which can be defended on strictly financial grounds. Yes, I know Trump is doing a lot of extortion of a lot of media companies, and much of it I've criticized and is very bad. This one seems like it was a decision that was made independent of the merger and has to do with the fact that this kind of business product is not, as much as Rachel Maddows of the world might love it and must chuckle to themselves at the 800th very surface level dig at Trump, just delights her soul, is not where media and humor and entertainment is headed. The idea of watching or caring what's going on late night, this is dinosaur, it's done. So it is a perfectly fine decision for them to retire or phase out Stephen Colbert. They didn't immediately yank him off. It's done. Get over it, lady. And then, again, Bari Weiss. We just talked about Bari Weiss, so I don't want to do it again until we're blue in the face. Not a mere right-wing blogger. That is ridiculously underplaying her success and what she's achieved. But
well, in relation to Colbert, I quite often chuckle along myself to what you deride as the surface-level criticisms of Trump.
I cringe. I don't laugh.
Look, on the serious point of what Maddow is raising here, it is a little similar to the discussion we were just having about Bari Weiss and CBS News and the evening news. Because if you just take the view in isolation, how is late night TV doing financially? It is obviously in decline. 50 years ago, Johnny Carson was getting like 17, 18 million people a night watching The Tonight Show. It's like it's like a 15th of that now. It's like so much smaller. Right. And yes, that does have financial implications. But, and here is where I would be much more aligned with Maddow's point, that decision was made at the same time as CBS, in terms of its corporate ownership, was clearly trying to placate Trump to grease the skids for the merger that subsequently went through and David Ellison took over. That was around the same time, shortly after CBS, or its parent company, had settled the spurious case that we've talked numerous times about, Kamala Harris, the 60 Minutes interview. Colbert goes on air, describes the payment that CBS made in that case as a bribe to Trump. I think very accurate, but certainly easily within the realm of comment for a late night host or someone who's more of a sort of commentator. and his show, the ending of his show is announced shortly thereafter. I think you can acknowledge the broad financial challenges of late night network television and still be enormously suspicious of how the higher ups at CBS conducted themselves.
I mean, and just the challenges of these large media organizations. Anyway, we are going through a time of tremendous transformation in media and news and entertainment because of the robust amount of competition from social media, from influencers and independent people, people breaking off, starting their own thing, including people who come from the mainstream, who've gone to launch very successful Substacks and have dedicated audiences there and elsewhere. Our own streaming shows you can do on Instagram and on X, and individuals are gaining power. They have the power, and the brand, the large national news brand, is declining. And I think they're just they're not taking it well. But that is the future, and it's independent of Trump. It's just part of the trend. They're going to have to innovate to stay relevant, and just I don't know. It sounds very, even in a non-political context to me, complaining that, you know, this comedian who's been doing it for years and years and years for an aging audience in a format that's dying doesn't get to still do that anymore. You gotta get creative. You gotta get new material. Get new material. I mean, or do it somewhere else. Like, he can still do it. Colbert can start a Substack or a YouTube show or whatever, and it's fine. And that's where we're all going anyway. YouTube has won. That's the future.
He can do that if he wants, but that is a separate issue, it seems to me, from CBS's conduct where his show is concerned. Like,
I'm just saying it doesn't matter that much. The power of these, because it's not 18 million people watching and never will be again. There will never,
I agree,
ever again be that significant a chunk of the American people paying attention to one of these things. So all I'm saying is, I'm not disagreeing with you on I don't want Trump involved at all. I don't want the federal government involved whatsoever. But it matters less because their power is so diluted.
Yeah, no, I think that is a fair point, that media has become so fragmented that people have just so many choices that it's not quite as vital as it once was. Where I think we disagree is that I still think the major networks have significant audiences and significant influence. Colbert was the leader among ABC, NBC, and CBS in terms of those late night shows, and that's why there's so much suspicion of the decision to end his show. That's, I think, what Maddow was really getting at. She was also getting at the broader question, whatever about our differing views of Barry Weiss and her abilities. I am very sure that a lot of people at CBS News are embarrassed by what they perceive to be a new regime put in place to placate the sitting president.
All right, we've got a lot more to talk about today on Rising. Stay with us.